Quick, make yourself like a man. Hello, love. Shit. I gotta turn off the thingy. I'm turning off the thermostat so that we can have sound. Here we go. Hello. Look. That is what happens. King of eyeliner strikes again. Oh, girl. So, tonight I'm going to, this is late night thoughts. It's quite very late. So we're in Texas, and it is late. Too late to get a date. And too early for work. It's the witching hour. I'm not really sure what time is exactly the witching hour. But so, I know that you watch these, and I know that some people that I meet watch these, so I know that some of you are very smart and capable of offering advice to me that I can't think of. So here's my plea. That rhymed. Meeting and greeting and saying hello. That's what we do at drag shows. But it is, oops. I suspect that it's not a sustainable model, and here is why. The meet and greet, drag race shows are different than regular drag race. Drag race shows that feature drag race girls, especially the really popular ones, are different than a regular local drag show. What's different about them? Well, there's a celebrity factor, right? Like it or not, many girls from the show, not all of them, certainly not all of them, that's just the truth. I mean, it is a popularity contest, and there are numbers. I know promoters who literally crunch the numbers and know nothing about us individually. Nothing. They don't know anything about us. They don't know our humor. They don't know why we're so popular. There's plenty of them out there. So, the meet and greet is an integral part of the business of the industry that Rue has created, right? You want to go to the show to meet the queen. I wanted to meet Sharon Needles. She, to me, was the first big star because she's so charismatic. And when I met her at DragCon. I didn't go to one of her shows because her shows are fucking crazy. There's too many people, and I don't like to go out unless I'm working because I'm a grandma. So I finally met her at DragCon, and I was like, oh my God. Oh, I get it. She's a star. I mean, she's problematic. She screams the N-word when she gets too drunk. She knows she does it. It's not a good thing. Nobody's perfect. It's kind of a whatever. She's one of my favorite people in the entire world because she's so smart, and she is such an incredible artist and a performer, yada, yada, yada. I can't do meet and greets anymore. I can't do it, and there's two reasons why. Number one, nobody should ever have to wait in line to meet me. It's just weird. I'm 34, so I don't fully grasp the culture of celebrity. Like, I've never had celebrities, I don't get it. I'm not, I would wait in line to see, okay, I went to Six Flags when I was a kid. And something you find out really quickly about Six Flags is that in Disney World or whatever, amusement parks that are big, sometimes you have to wait in line for 2 hours. 2 hours. You have to queue, for all you Europeans or Londoners or whatever, or Canadians, a lineup. It's a lineup in Canada. You have to queue for 2 fucking hours to go on a 30-second ride. I'm like, whoa, that's intense. This 30-second ride, I'm waiting for it to dry. I cut myself shaving, and it hurt a lot. I put makeup over it because I used a fucking dime store razor from the hotel lobby because I needed to. I was late. It's awful. It sucks. Shaving sucks balls. It's okay, yeah. It's a messed up system, but so many people would love to meet you. That is exactly. So the thing is, it's a new industry. We have not yet. No promoter has yet. Listen, I've done as many meet and greets as I'll ever do. No meet and greet now. I've done as many types of meet and greets as there will be. I have had the great opportunity to work in everywhere. I've worked in Australia, I've worked in Brazil, I've worked in Asia, I've worked all over Europe with bots, I've worked all over the country in the United States, I've worked at every major city in Canada. The only places I haven't worked yet are Mexico City, which is coming up, and every other market in the world that supports Drag Race girls, I've been there. And it's not bragging, it's just it's a truth. So I know how to do a meet and greet. I do the best ones. I do. I mean, I absolutely do the best meet and greets. I'm the best Drag Race meet and greet girl ever. Ever. And I know that sounds arrogant, but it's not. It's like not, it's not, the bot's meet and greet was awkward. Oh, yeah. So there's no model that's perfect for meet and greet. Oh, God, this keeps bleeding. So I probably need a Band-Aid. Fuck. If I die, Mother, will you alert the authorities and see to it that I have a proper burial in the Wild West? That my voices are a combination of Jinx and Sharon. I just realized. The Betty Davis or the Joan Crawford voice is when I think of Jinx, and the Mother, I'm spotting again is inspired by Sharon, because she does this character that's like has a strokey mouth and is like this old cross-dresser that's like, I wear a champagne teddy. And Sharon does it better, or she does it the Sharon way. I can't quite mimic it because I have my own version, but it's inspired by Sharon. Anyways, so the meet and greet cultures, it's not working. It's not working. There, if it's a photo line, then we can't meet. But the way that, if we stop you on the street, does that bother you? We're talking about meet and greets. So if anybody's late to the party, we're talking about meet and greets, and also my bloody face, because this thing keeps bleeding and it's really pissing me off. I don't have a Band-Aid, Mom. I hope it stops bleeding. You told me I wasn't hemophiliac. So I don't want to do them anymore. I don't, because the thing is that the meet and greet is more important than the show. But meeting and greeting should be sort of like, I don't know. The thing is, I know how to talk to everybody now. That was a skill that I developed over the past year. Any person that's in a meet and greet, I know how to talk to them. I know how to identify whether it's someone that understands me very well. I know how to receive an awesome gift. I received one, several tonight. I know how to receive a gift that sucks, like a shitty one that I don't care about. And I'm just being honest, because I know that it's appropriate and good to say thank you so much for bringing me a gift. That's being gracious. My friend Kelly Williams Brown is writing a book. She's probably already done. I don't know if it's published yet, but it's called Gracious, and it's all about being gracious. And that is for people who are in a position of power and of privilege to give back, to acknowledge kindness, to promote all that stuff. So, but you can't be gracious when you're being like shot at by the police. So, if you ever fault people in the ghetto for not being gracious, that's misguided, because you can't live in a war zone and be gracious. Anyways, that's a diversion or a tangent. But the meet and greet thing I haven't figured out how to do, because it's not worth it. It becomes a photo line. I think it perpetuates a culture of narcissism in a way. That's a small piece. The other piece is that no one should wait in line for an hour. So the only way to do that is then to do a photo line. But then the person is like a scarecrow, so you might as well just Like what we had to do tonight. It was oversold. Not the promoter's fault, by the way. Not blaming anybody, because Ray is a really wonderful person. Ray Lopez, he's a good guy with a kind heart, and he runs a tight ship, and he does it well because it's not his main job. You know, that's how he's able to do it. Promoters who aren't scuzzy usually have a side. It's usually their side gig. Is there nobody listening to that? Wait, what happened? Is nobody there? I don't get it. What happened? Periscope is broken. Well, this is good. There's lots of hearts but 0 viewers, so thank God. So meet and greet, if it's really a celebrity, Drag Race has created a particular kind of celebrity that is the ultra accessible celebrity, right? Because you treat me like a celebrity. I'm a girl, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not. Somebody at the airport, I've had experiences where people scream and people cry, and I'm not saying those tears are gross or they're stupid or they're meaningless. I don't think they're meaningless. I fully believe and accept that I've somehow helped somebody. That makes me feel great. But I can't help anybody in a meet and greet. I can help you take a picture. I don't care about that picture, though. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I don't care about that picture because it could be, because for about 15 to 20 people, I stood in one place, I did like a model. I entertain at my meet and greets, you know, but you can't entertain the whole crowd at once. You can't entertain the line at once. I prefer when the line is there so that I can entertain more than one person at a time, because it's just a true fact that standing in a line is not fun. You're out there to have fun. And so at DragCon, I will not be doing meet and greets. There's a chance that I'll do one at PEG, the booth, for 1 hour. That's it, though, because I am better served doing a performance where I can talk. If I prepare a talk, and I'm not going to say, I know I'm too weird to go out there and improv. I know I can do it well, but I go into so many tangents and I get so weird, because I think it's important. And it's not that, and I need to do that because I don't think that anything I say is untrue or everything I say tries to make sense, and it does. But sometimes I go on a tangent, and sometimes I don't ever spew nonsense unless it's absurd humor, unless it's an absurd humor joke. So anyways, if I prepare 2 TED Talks, which would be my own version of TED Talks, because I have actual shit to say, and that's an ominous foreboding, but I have actual shit to say, so I think I'm better served by trying to get a conference room and talking to people for 1 hour, or leading a workshop or something, because the meet and greets are not working. It's not working, man. It's a photograph. You should not have to wait 2 in line. And I know for me, it's more than an experience, because I've learned more in this past year of meeting people and meet and greets, how to talk to people, how to interact with people, and do it so quickly and so fast, and tell a joke or make it funny or make it absurd or make it poignant or make it whatever. And it's all real. I don't act like in meet and greets unless I'm actually acting, like doing hello, darling. Have you any apples in your bag? I've got a beast in my pussy that only eats apples. You know, stuff like that. That's being a character. But the meet and greet experience is supposed to meet the person. And I can't do that anymore. And I'm not at DragCon, it was very instructive because I don't know how many, I wish I had figured out how many people I had met. Because some people waited in line for 3 hours. And that's not fun. It's not waiting in line con. And I know that people come. Botsa has actually the best meet and greet. Because when you have 8 queens out there, now it's not done perfectly every time. And I'm not saying it's perfect every time, because guess what? People aren't perfect every time. There's no perfect person out there that's going to have a great, meaningful interaction, who's going to live up to the expectations of what every person thought the meet and greet was going to be, who's going to provide that kind of experience tailor-made for strangers that we made for the first time. It's never going to happen. Bots has the best one, because you can go in there, meet your 2 or 3 favorite queens, and then that's great. You don't have to wait in line that long. Lines form to meet each queen individually, but having that freedom of choice is great, because you can't get upset about not getting a picture with Violet, because Sharon Jinx are your favorite and you got a picture with them, so you went to their lines first. Or you can't get a picture, you can't be upset about not getting a picture with me because you went to Violet and, Pandora first, and because those were your two favorites, and that's, you know what I mean? So that makes sense. The bad thing is that the performers, it makes us, it removes kind of the dazzle and the showmanship of well, at least it's not going any longer. It removes kind of the dazzle and the showmanship and the celebrity factor of us being actual stars. If we are actually stars, I don't think that the meet and greet does much to further our star status. And I mean, not just in a fame way, it applies this pressure for us to be expert one-on-one communicators, which is not a very useful skill, because we're meeting people who it's not a challenge, so it doesn't translate back into the work. We can't take those skills and then reinvest them back into drag, right? Becoming good at meet and greets is a useless skill at a point, because you meet all the fans of drag and of you that you're ever going to meet. That's not to say that there aren't unique interactions that happen all the time. I remember people from all over the place. Sometimes I have sex with them, hardly ever, which is a bummer. That's I think Detox walks into a meet and greet thinking, how many people can I grope? I mean, as a performance art tool, as a durational performance, like something that lasts for an hour or two, that's how I kind of thought of it as. So like, how many people it's like, I won't take the picture. I could think of it as a game. I won't take the picture unless you grab my breasts, because why? I feel that aggressive sexuality is something that can be celebrated in queer culture, because we're often ashamed of ourselves. We're ashamed of our sexuality. We're ashamed of our bodies. For people to come together and hug each other over and over, that's wonderful. That's really wonderful. And it is meaningful. But at a point, the performer becomes exhausted. And the performer has signed on, before we know it, the performer has signed on to do something that they didn't sign on to do. Like, they want to do drag. They want to, dance the house down Versace boots on stage, or they want to be a DJ, or they want to be a storyteller, or whatever. They don't sign up to be a professional meter and greeter. And I think that it would be very disappointing for the fans, and it might change the structure of the industry, but the industry is only 5 years old. Drag Race fame has only existed for like 5 or 6 years. Season 1 was small, season 2 was small but growing, and then season 3, and then really after season 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and All Stars, we've reached it's getting more famous than ever. Somebody at the airport, this guy at the gate, he was like, "Wait a minute, are you on TV?" And he looked wide-eyed and like, but he didn't know what TV show I was from. So I was like, that's when it hit me. It finally hit me. I was like, you don't know anything about me. You don't know if I'm good or not, or bad, or whatever, but you know that I've been on TV, and that fascinates you. That's just fame. That's not anything substantial. That'll go away. That'll wither and die before we know it. So the celebrity culture, that fame thing, it's like Drag Race girls get the worst of both sides of it, because we're not like Gigi Hadid, I have to use that reference because Sharon Stone doesn't work anymore. But Gigi Hadid is an untouchable model celebrity. She's beautiful, untouchable, like Violet. She's the drag version of Violet, and but Violet doesn't really. I mean, she does meet and greets and she does them great, but it's not her favorite thing to do. And for a lot of the girls, because Violet is an untouchable, perfect specimen who wants to command the stage, and be this star. And a star is elusive, and you can't catch her. That's a diva. A diva doesn't roll around in the muck at 3 a.m. on a bar floor like me, because I'm the people's princess. So I'm more relatable, and that's on purpose, and that's because I want to figure out what is wrong with humanity and try to fix it. And you can't do that without talking to people. But a star, a diva, provides an ideal, this image. She's an artist. She herself is her art. Violet is her art. An old Hollywood star, exactly like Lana Turner. Lana Turner didn't do meet and greets, Big stars these days don't do meet and greets. we do meet and greets, I guess, because we are more relatable. I mean, we're real people, but at the same time, people insist on treating us like stars, and at the same time, treating us like their friends, which is why it's perfectly acceptable for me to be at a bar, in drag or out of drag, and for people to come up and poke me. And this is crazy. This is really interesting. It happened so long ago, and it happens a bunch of times, but I'm not angry about it now. It's just fascinating to observe. They poke at my back, like at my back fat, and a couple of guys even grabbed a pinch of my back fat, and pulled me, and I was like, no, nope, 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 nope. You know, and it's weird because the culture has developed it so fast. There's culture lag. Like we haven't had time to process the behavior and agree upon customs that kind of like guide the behavior in a healthy way or an agreed upon way. The same thing that's happened with smartphones. Like they proliferated so quickly that we didn't have time to figure out what's rude and what's not rude. Like I remember when my mom, at like 2 or 3 years after cell phones really became ubiquitous, my mom still hadn't had one, and she was having a conversation with our neighbor at the supermarket. This was like 1 or 2 years into this big cell phone boom, and the neighbor cut my mom off mid conversation to answer her phone, and my mother was kind of internally, because she's a very nice, polite woman, polite to a fault, she was horrified. Because it was almost as if she was like talking mid-sentence and the woman had just kind of closed her mouth and was like, hold on a second, something more interesting is happening. There's a social thing. A person is on my phone has gripped my attention and is now takes precedence over your physical presence, which at the time seemed very rude. But now we just do it because we're so narcissistic that, you know, we just like, well, what else can I get? You know, oh, something's ringing. Maybe it's something better than just this conversation I'm having. Maybe it's an escape route. Maybe it's just, you know, it all happens so fast. And I think what a lot of people, social etiquette, exactly. So what a negative way that social etiquette has not saved us, and you know, I think that basically what I'm trying to say, I could do a meet and greet for like 30 people. That's it. I don't do photo lines. I'm not a fucking scarecrow. I'm not a look queen, you know? If you want to meet me and greet me, then let's meet and greet. But it's going to be 30 people or less, or 40 people or less. It's just not, it doesn't work. And I can't abide people waiting in line that long. Not for me. You want to do it for anybody else, go ahead, but it doesn't make sense. So I don't want to do it anymore. I really don't. The blood has stopped traveling. Let's hope it congeals there. So that's my sense. I don't, because I feel like the meet and greet, I don't know, man. We don't have any time. We just don't have the time. We hardly have the time to wiggle on stage. I'd rather do a talk that's like fucking. I can't have 100 conversations with people. That's meeting. Meeting and greeting is like saying hello, kiss, kiss, photo, goodbye. I don't know. Do you really want my photo that bad? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. Yeah, exactly. You can't always please everyone, and I have to find something that makes sense to me. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Because waiting 2 hours in line, that does not make sense to me, so I won't do it again. And I have the control to not do that. So, like, I can say 2 years of experience at DragCon. People are waiting 2 hours in line. That's enormously flattering. Don't you dare, even for 1 second, think that I'm not grateful for that. But I'm suspicious of it. I'm suspicious of it because I can't relate to it. And that doesn't mean that I don't love people, that I don't have idols. I could rattle off a list of idols I have right now. I'll do it right now. David Lynch, Amy Sedaris, John Turturro, Angelica Houston, Steven Spielberg. I mean, there's so many. So many. It's like, the list goes on and on. Tim and Eric, Eric Andre, Maria Bamford, my probably number one favorite person in the world. Any of the 90, Ellen fucking Barkin. Ellen Burstyn, Darren Aronofsky, Edgar Allan Poe. I'd wait in line for more than an hour if he was in fact a ghost. But I wouldn't wait in line to meet David Lynch. I mean, I don't see what the point would be. I want to see his movie. I want to watch his movie. I want to make sure that he's like well rested and has enough food so that he can go make a movie. So here's the thing. I'm going to start doing more stuff and being less. It's hard to say. If all I have to sell is my picture, that's not good enough, you know, because I have more to sell than that. Yeah. Do you realize how tiring a meet and greet is for a celebrity? I don't do photo lines. I have an authentic interaction. Some people have criticized me for being too crazy during a meet and greet. I call it being entertaining. If you think that my behavior at a meet and greet is crazy, girl, you're at the wrong meet and greet, bitch. I am, whenever I'm crazy at a meet and greet, it's not because I'm drunk or high, it's because I'm entertaining. That is my version of entertainment. My version of entertainment is subversive behavior. That is my brand. Ugh, it sounds so gross to say it. Still sounds so gross. But kissing people, kissing strangers, rubbing my tucked genitals on other people's crotches, it means stuff. It has meaning. It means that it's all from the fact that as queer people and women who are insecure, we're taught to feel ashamed of our bodies. So what is a radical act? A radical act of sexual confidence and also grossness. I'm gross and sweaty. And guess what? And I act like I'm the hottest bitch in the world. And that's subversive because the world says that as a profusely sweating, cross-dressing 34-year-old man, that is weird as hell. And for me to grind up on my crotches on strangers for 100 in a row and to have us share moments of like actual compassion and love, like I love you too. That's what people say at a meet and greet. It's a very positive environment. That's the benefit of a meet and greet. It's positive. All my meet and greets are positive places, not just HIV positive, mother, though we are riddled with AIDS. No, it's not just, they're very positive places, but it's too much psychic energy. And you know who actually posted a photo about this? Put out a thing a while ago. Justin Bieber did. So, and it has actually, I'm not a Justin Bieber fan at all. He is probably one of the most famous young men in the world, right? I mean, Justin Bieber, that guy Zayn. These are heartthrob Beatles moments, kind of whatever. But the thing is that when the line becomes blurred between fans and friends, it can get very blurry. Because I do have friends now who were fans. I do. But then the relationship changes. If you're actually friends, then you bring stuff to the table. If you're a fan, then it's different. Then they are somehow patronizing your art. You know, they're a patron of your artwork, whether that is wiggling on stage or making drawings, you know, that they're then purchasing, or going to shows that you produce and write that they're buying a ticket to, or paying admission to a film that you've directed or starred in. They're a fan of you, and they're following your work, what you do, you know what I mean. But when it becomes a bit different, when what you sell is yourself, people like me because I'm myself on television, and that's true. I mean, I didn't do any behaviors on Drag Race that are not me. That's a fact. The only thing that I did that was sort of acting related was either the acting challenges or moving along the exposition of the narrative of the episode in the interview segments. Like, for example, they even broke the fourth wall this season. They said, when I was like, you know, so it's a new day in the workroom, and we're just feeling excited, and we're feeling like, let's do drag again today, and let's make it count. You know, those are like those moments can be read as insincere if you think too much about it, which is what I do. But meet and greet culture is not here to stay. That's the thing about it. It's an unsustainable practice. And I just think that I encourage you guys to, like, it sounds so cheesy, but, like, I'm not going to encourage you guys not to wait in line. I think I just have to not have the lines anymore. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. So I encourage you, if you're a fan of mine, like, watch the support. You can, the picture, who cares about the picture? I mean, I'm not Violet. I don't even look that great in a picture. You know, it's not like, if it's, some people ask for a picture and it's just a picture, it's just a badge in your Girl Scout uniform, girl. I see you, girl. I see you coming a mile away when and I do it myself. Like, they recognize you, they pull out the phone, and they're just like, hi, can I get a picture? I'm like, I mean, at a meet and greet that you paid for? Of course. Yeah, absolutely. At the airport? No. I don't want to. And, I mean, does it matter? I mean, I don't know. Like, why do you get the picture? Like, so to put it on your Instagram. Why do you have Instagram? If you're Bob regular. Why? It's a collection of photos of my life. I don't know. I wouldn't probably have an Instagram if I wasn't famous. And I know it sounds weird to be famous, but 400,000 people follow me on Instagram. Why? I don't know. I mean, I don't even have great pictures. I have great words, mama. So y'all best be following me on Twitter. I'm a blast on Twitter. I love Twitter because guess what? I have something to say. I have something to say. I look hot in drag. So I keep up the Instagram. I don't like it all that much. Amy Sedaris has an excellent Instagram because none of the pictures are her. None of them, ever. Sometimes she posts one or two of Jerry Blank. But they're pictures of really cool stuff, just awesome imagery, drawings, pictures, throwbacks. Like, it's curated from a network of her friends. They're like, you know, her best friend is a great designer, so that's great. But I mean, I like talking on Twitter because I have something to say, and I learn a lot on Twitter because I read a lot on Twitter, and I get my news on a lot of my news on Twitter. I learn what happens in the world breaking wise. I learn what black person have the police killed today, you know, and it's depressing and it's horrifying. But I don't know. The thing is, it's like, you know, I'm starting to get cynical about it because I have something you want. And when I ask for $1 for it, as a joke, which is half joking, half serious, I'm looked at like I have two heads. But people are willing to poke and prod my flesh and then locate the back fat on my skinny ass body and then grab it and pull it towards them so that they can interrupt my conversation with a very passionate conversation because I'm always crazy and talking like that. I love to talk about passionate shit, or shit that I feel passionate about, and pulling my back fat towards them so that they can have a badge in the Girl Scout uniform. Wrong queen, mama. In fact, there's no queen for that. Unless it's a local girl who would love to be famous, and then God bless her, and good luck. Drag Race has created a vacuum of celebrity that's really only available to those who get to appear on television. And television stardom for drag queens is an unsustainable model. Because Drag Race is not going to be there forever. And we will go back. The tide will turn, just as Ru said, where drag queens will become less famous because the industry will not support itself. I don't know. I sort of imagine it maybe lasting for like maybe 10 years maximum. And it will have to go through several rebirths and iterations and will fizzle out and die long before it's canceled. But drag queens will never go away. Local drag queens, never. Local drag queens are awesome. I mean, that's where it's at because they can't rest on fame, so they create cool stuff and great costumes and awesome dance performances, and they make it cool. But meeting and greeting is problematic. It's problematic. So I would rather reach the public in a better way through text that is written and rewritten and people can read in the comfort of their own home, as short films that you can watch on YouTube, as talks that you can go to and see me live in person. But I can't meet 200 people every night. It's just fucking crazy, girl. It's crazy. And it's crazy for you too. You're waiting in line for an hour and it's weird. Drag is forever, but fame isn't. Girl, that is the absolute truth. Drag is forever. Drag is never going anywhere. As long as the world is fucked up, there will be drag, girl. But drag race fame or drag fame is not... It has to reach... You know, drag is a queer thing. Drag is a queer thing. And drag race fame is not a queer thing. It's still localized. I mean, it's still smaller potatoes than, say, like, you know, you walk down the street and you see... Well, if you walk down the street and see Beyonce, chances are she's not going to be alone, and chances are she's not going to be anywhere ever alone, because she's reached the pinnacle of celebrity. You can't get any more famous than her, and it's a huge sacrifice. It's a sacrifice where she has to live in privacy, she has to live surrounded by security, but the payoff is that she gets to do a really cool shit. She gets to be an entertainer and entertain and provide joy and be like dancing and thought-provoking, awesome, wonderful, cool, entertaining shit for fucking millions of people. So the meet and greet can happen only if it's for a very select amount of people, which I still don't know. No, drag race, queerness will never be 100% normalized, because guess what? Being queer is not normal. This is not a tangent. This is a response to one of the comments. Being queer is not normal. It's not. It is not normal. It's abnormal, but there's no negative connotation. That's the whole problem with queerness. People need to recognize that being queer, being trans, and being gay is not normal. It's not. It's because it's just a mathematical thing. There are more straight people than gay people. Being gay is an anomaly. Being trans is an anomaly. Being a freak, a weirdo, is by definition an anomaly. It exists by contrast to the dominant culture. I'll say weirdo rather than queer, because you can be queer and not a weirdo. Because you can be gay and you can pass and you can blend in, and therefore have no knowledge of what it means to be forced into a perspective outside that of the dominant ideology. That's what makes being queer special. That's what drag queens do. That's what drag queens have the chance to provide. You only meet stupid drag queens when the proliferation of stupid drag queens occurs when drag does not, when it's just style and there's no substance. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the catch. You can have, exquisite drag, and that's the wonder of dress up. That's costume, that's beauty, that's the drag queen comes in, that's that star. But that's realness. That's star realness. That's diva realness. It's not actually being a diva. J-Lo is the actual diva. Celine Dion is the actual diva. Barbra Streisand is the actual diva. They are female singers who can sing and can entertain. Drag queens are the local version of that, or the response to that. We either take the piss out of the culture, or we try to mimic to the letter, which is realness, comes from the ball culture. Can you, as a poor black man, give me executive female realness? What does that mean? It means dress up by whatever means, and you know it's going to be shady because can't afford a suit. So either mop it, borrow it, make it out of construction paper, use your creativity or your ingenuity, and that sometimes means the underground economy, and create the illusion of passing. There's an inherent tragedy in the ball culture because it's an oppressed community who is banded together to survive and is critiquing. There's a fine line, because the realness category is this. The realness category is like, there's an inherent sadness in it because the person who is oppressed is mimicking the dominant culture, doing the visual act of trying to fit in and being scored on it. It's a subversive act, because it, like Rue is saying, it highlights drag making fun of identity. It says, what does it mean to walk down the street and feel like a rich bitch? That's what drag those are the questions that drag asks. What does it mean to walk down the street and feel like you are the motherfucking tea? That's really drag. So, or it's like, what does it mean to look exactly like J-Lo at the Grammys? You know, I mean, and that's all that some drag queens strive for. And that's great because it costs a lot more to see J-Lo than it does to see your local drag queens doing an impersonation of J-Lo. So in that sense, it is a lowbrow art form, you know, it's not a big ticket event. Drag Race has made drag a big ticket event, but it's still problematic, and I would argue that it's not entirely sustainable. Drag makes fun of everything normal. Yeah, but not anymore. Sometimes drag just strives to be normal, which is to say that drag strives to be Britney. Or drag just strives to be to provide the most accurate approximation of the star. It doesn't critique the star at all. It's saying, I'm going to give Gwen Stefani realness. I'm going to use Gwen Stefani's song. I'm going to recreate her outfit to the letter. And, you know, of course, we can appreciate the ingenuity that it takes to create that costume. That's why Roxy Andrews is so good at drag. From head to toe, her hands construct that illusion. From head to toe, she makes those wigs. She paints that face. She makes that costume. She sews it herself with her bare fucking hands. Makeup artist, hairstylist, seamstress, and designer. Those are 4 marketable talents that she shows mastery of every time she gets on the runway. 4 marketable talents. She could be a hairstylist. She could be a makeup artist. She could be a costume designer and work in the costume shop actually stitching those fucking garments. 4 marketable skills. That's the power of drag. So, you know, master of the jack of all trades, master of none. No, Roxy Andrews is a master of 4 trades. You know what I mean? That's the artistry and the elegance of her drag. For me, it's all about what I have to say. What I have to say and what do I do. The element for me, I have to eventually give up the drag because I'm never going to be a woman. And drag for me is feeling sexy. Drag for me is allowing myself to enter a conversation about women and about identity because I love women and I feel like a woman. I'd rather be a woman than a man, always have been, but I'm not willing to transition because I don't need to. For me, I don't need to. It's not an imperative force that I am. For me, everything is drag. Everything is drag. Boy drag is boy drag. Girl drag is girl drag. I just love girl drag better because it's just more beautiful. It's more flashy. It's more stylish. There are more options. It's more interesting. There's a visual language of fashion that is like a dialogue that spans centuries that you can tap into. It's art. It's art. But for me, it only goes so deep. For me, drag for me has to be the triumph of substance over style. But why not try both? That's for me. Drag. That's where drag is. It's like, okay, try both. Try to be substantive and also stylish. That is like what? The perfect entertainer. Oh, fuck, I'm exhausting myself. So, long story short, too late. I need to figure out a way, and because I need to figure out a way to fix this meet and greet situation. I really encourage your help. I'm talking to promoters about it. I'm talking to my manager about it. But it just seems like an unsustainable model, and it's just not satisfying. You can't tell me that it's satisfying for you to wait in line for an hour at a nightclub. It's just not. It's just not. And I think I would encourage you to do something else. I mean, I really would. Limit to 25. Well, if you have 25, you can take photos. You don't need to limit photos when there's only 25 because the photo takes a second. I'm not interested in a photo line. Pull up a cardboard cutout of me and take a photo with that. Girl, I'm not interested in feeding the culture of celebrity. Because here's the thing, I've only produced web series. I am an actual artist. Like I've always wanted to be an artist, and now drag has allowed me the spotlight and the vehicle to do artwork. It's underway, man. I have a major project coming up in less than 2 weeks that is going to be an absolute legitimate piece of artwork that I'm directing and writing. So if I can't juke it on my own merit as an artist, I'm going to be a yoga teacher. I'm an excellent communicator. I love yoga, but I can't do meet and greets anymore. It's a weird part of the job. It doesn't make any sense to me. So unless it makes sense, unless I can entertain the crowd at the whole time, but that's not a meet and greet. That's a talk. That's a performance. That's stand-up. That's comedy. We don't need to do the meet and greet anymore. I'm telling you, man. We got to figure out a way to I don't. I will be a yoga teacher when I'm 50. You better believe it, mama. I am going to be a yoga teacher, a late in life yoga teacher. If it's only one class, then, well, so be it. But so, if you limit when people get pissed off when they missed out, yeah, of course. But why do people get to have it? You know, like miss out, but what do you mean miss out? Like it doesn't, if I have something that they want, then you have to pay for it. I mean, they're flying me in. Like, we have to be clear on what are we actually coming to see? Because for Drag Race Girls, people leave before the show. They go to the meet and greet and leave before the show. They don't even want to see the show because the show's either not on a good stage or whatever. It's too crowded and crazy. I don't ever go to drag shows, ever go to nightclubs because they're too crowded and crazy. People got to be up early. People are bringing. 2 moms brought their kids tonight, and I could tell they were the nicest fucking moms ever. But the meet and greet was late because it was a nightclub, and they brought their 18-year-old girl, kids to the meet and greet. And these moms are fucking awesome. But these moms are too damn nice. My parents never would have done that when I was 18. Are you fucking kidding me, bitch? No. No way, mama. But a book signing? Girl, a book signing at a bookstore at 12 p.m. on a Sunday? Hell yeah. That's the place to bring it. Because that's when I'm going to read something from an actual book that I wrote or a project that I feel great about. Whether that's in drag or not, I don't know. Hopefully yes in drag. But yeah, it's not working anymore. It's not working. So, and I'm fucking sweaty as fuck. People say you don't care. It's like, oh, I'm so sweaty. Oh, I don't care. I do, though. I feel so uncomfortable. Do a seated stand-up show at 5 p.m.? Bitch, Marta, that's exactly what I want to do. Have raffles for the meet and greets. Yeah, my parents' queer culture. Yeah, no. Well, you need to get new parents, mama. The average age of the people that come to your meet and greets, well, it depends because, you assume that there's a limit, and 18 is, of course, the lowest but not on bots, though. Some are all ages. But at a nightclub, girl, it's a Wednesday night in San Antonio tonight. It's a nightclub. It's a Wednesday night. It's a school night. The show went until 12:31, which is de rigueur in a, it's not the right French expression, in a nightclub. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's not working. So I got to figure it out. I don't want to do it anymore. It's not because I'm lazy, bitch. If you have ever been to one, it was so, don't call me lazy. If anything, I've made the experience worse for my colleagues because I'm a lunatic at the meet and greets because I need to entertain people because they've just waited in line for so long. So it's this bizarre thing, and it's not inauthentic or fake or anything. I'm real all the time. I'm never not real. What is not being real? What does that mean? Not being real is looking at someone, thinking to yourself, that person is so ugly, and they dress so badly, poorly, and then having them come to you, and you're like, oh my God, you are so beautiful, and I love those pants. They look so good on you. That's what girls do. That's what girls do. Guys don't do that. That's the difference between girls and guys. That's the difference between girls and guys. Guys don't do that. They just won't say anything. They just won't talk about your pants or comment on your beauty or lack thereof. Guys don't do that. They don't care. They're not going to fucking lie to you to try to make you feel better. Girls lie to you to try to make you feel better. That is kind of a fact. I mean, guys do it too if they have to, but it doesn't make sense for a guy to do that. Guys suck in plenty of other ways. Trust me. Gay guys and girls have this in common. They will be fake in a way that's kind of like unnecessary. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, not all girls, for sure. I don't know any fake lesbians. I mean, they, the whole like, oh, tell it like it is. There's a particular masculine energy that's in both the sexes. That's the thing. Masculine and feminine energies are not restricted to the sex. It's so stupid. But there's a masculine energy that is unemotional, productive, competitive, and that's the kind that just doesn't. There's no time to be fake. And girls like that and guys like that are the best kinds. You're just real. I often don't tell people, when people say they love me, I don't tell them I love them back, because it doesn't make any sense. I do sometimes, just because, I don't know, it's nice to say I love you. It doesn't matter. But if I don't know you, why am I going to say I love you? You know me because you actually do. That's the thing, is like, I'm real on Drag Race. That's me. It's the best moments, though, my best and worst moments. It's not all the boring shit. Like, I'm a boring regular person. I'm a boring person. Everybody's boring. You know, because we can't be exciting all day long. This is the only thing exciting about me right now. Dried blood on my face. So, I'm going to figure it out. I don't know what to do yet. And it might significantly impact my income. I'm okay with that. Girl, we Drag Race girls make too much money. The bubble done already had bursted. Ooh, the bubble done already had bursted. I don't know how to make that into a thinker. Go use your thinker, kiddo. Thank you, Ilya Jarbaden. What? Do you really need to keep doing these posts? Well, bitch, I'm trying to find the truth. We're all trying to find the truth. I'm not trying to get rich. I want to get rich because I want to start my own production company and make cool shit. It's the only reason I want to get rich. What the fuck am I going to do with all that money? I can't even clean my house, girl. Why the fuck do I want to be a millionaire? I want to have access to millions of dollars. Not my money, other rich people's money. And, you know, to convince them to help me make, you know, let me make movies and stuff. I have awesome fucking ideas. I have awesome ideas. Awesome ideas. I have a really unique point of view. Drag Race has given me a lot of gifts. It's allowed me to connect with people that I never would have had the opportunity to. But we can't do it through meet and greets. It just can't happen anymore. And the thing is like, thinking of it as a celebrity, as a culture, if we're really stars, you are an all-star, then we'd have to kind of walk the walk of a star and be inaccessible. I don't really know if I want to do that. I don't want to be famous like that. Ugh. Being famous is a pain in the ass if you're not rich. Like, Violet would be an excellent famous person because she'd love to be rich, and she would work hard. Like, she would make incredibly rich, opulent, breathtaking artwork that when the curtain opens, you go, but you can't have that gasp if you can go poke her back fat later in the back room for like 2 hours. It just doesn't, well, that would make her hooker, which she is. Waiting 3 hours for a photo, is that what fame has come to? Yeah, it has. But nobody waits in line for any, I don't know why. It's weird. I know that is kind of the thing to do at a convention. You kind of go there knowing you're in a waiting line, but do you think I would wait in line at a clothing store for more than 10 minutes? Yeah, I mean, it's different. I am extremely, some people care more about a picture than the actual experience. No, that's most people. Not some people. That's actually most. I'm not saying it. Many of my fans, the number of authentic interactions that I've had over the past year are staggering. That's why I have become an expert communicator. That's why. I learned to talk in the last year and a half. I know how to use the English language so well and so quickly and in so many different scenarios simply because I went through this bizarre grad school of meeting people, sometimes 100 to 150 a night, 3 to 4 times a week for the last year and a half. That's incredible. That's all from meet and greets. But the model is not sustainable. And it's not as if I'm just going to, okay, I gained my skill, I can't do it anymore, there's nothing more in it for me. But I think that we need to be suspicious of what's in it for you. A picture? I mean, who cares? If you're there dancing at the nightclub and you're like, oh, hey, that's a famous person, cool, let me get a picture. And you can do it, great, who cares? But waiting in line, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So we got to have I would love to do anything alternative. When Ginger and I did that smoke break thing, it was a performance. It wasn't a meet and greet. It was a performance. Smoke break performance where we talked, and Trixie and I, we do our show. That's an edited version of it. But if we're talking real time, I love to talk to people, but I don't want to just be poked and prodded and used as a prop. I'm not a scarecrow, bitch. I had to be a scarecrow tonight in order to move the line along. You have to sacrifice the meeting and the greeting if it's going to be feasible. People want something tangible. I mean, well, what is tangible? What can you have that's tangible other than a video or a piece of artwork? You can't take a pound of flesh. You know what I mean? It's like, selfies with the famous person are the new autographs, right? I mean, that's just obvious. Nobody asks for an autograph anymore because everybody has a camera. Everybody has a way to physically document it, and now you don't have to go to the trouble of being a great orator to help to get people to believe that you met Sharon Stone, right? It doesn't have to be an interesting story to hold people's attention. You don't have to be a great storyteller. You just whip out the camera or you whip up the phone and show them, look, that's Sharon Stone, and like, holy shit, it is. And then it doesn't even happen in person though. It happens online where then you can go and 3 days later, like, people, I know that they do this. They see me and they think, I could get 45 Instagram likes from that picture. That's what they see. They don't care about me, and I don't expect them to, because why would they? I would love for them to care about my videos, and I know that they do. And I love that they care about me and Trixie's shows, and I know that they do, and that's awesome, because we're really proud of that show, and it's great. But it's just not working. Yeah. It's not working, man. So we got to figure something else out. I do think, for better or for worse, that the Drag Race culture of fame will wither considerably, and it already has. You notice that with oh no, Marta, I don't deny that you do care, bitch. I know you care, and that's a great thing. That I do have the energy to connect with a lot of people deeply, more than most, you know, because I'm a people person. I love talking to people. I love shouting at them because I have shit to talk about. The irony is that I'm actually a social influencer, not these like YouTubers that have nothing to say. I mean, they don't have anything to say, like, other than, so like, I hope you guys try this new mascara because it's like super cool. You're not a social influencer. All you're doing is influencing people to buy mascara, and that's cool. I mean, listen, mascara is great, you know? A lot of women won't leave the house without it on. So if you're a YouTuber that says, hey, here's all my favorite mascaras, they range from $2 to $20, and, you know, that's great. The real tragedy here is that the Kardashians have the popular consciousness by the balls. They're not saying anything cool. They're not. Not yet. I have faith that Kim Kardashian one day, perhaps maybe, will say something cool. I think she started to do it when she called Taylor Swift out, because the implicit message was, no, bitch, you can't write the narrative here. And she got receipts. She did it skillfully, and she challenged her white privilege. I know that it doesn't have to be that political, and people can find me on that. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, go fuck yourself, girl. I have time for that. She's a megastar. I can critique her. That's part of. I'm a cultural critic as a drag queen, so, you know, I'm not coming for her talent or her voice or her looks or anything, but I'm saying that she relies heavily on white privilege, and that's a fucking fact. She would admit it if she has the intelligence, then she will admit it herself. That's a truth that she can't deny. Nobody can deny. And the fact that I love that it's a juicy bit of gossip that is like really interesting, that Kim would come for her in regards to Kanye's project and you know, and his, it's, I didn't follow it because I can't watch that. Said some kind of important, but well, here's the thing. Kim has offered a different body ideal. You know, she's a fertility goddess. Granted, her fat has been distributed, and she's the perfect woman, and she's not a stick. She's the ideal woman. She's the perfect face and perfect body she's an ideal. She's a physical ideal, and it's great that it's starting to include people who are not only 60 pounds. That's wonderful. She's still a heavily polished, burnished ideal. It's the perfect, unattainable, expensive, yada, yada, yada. So, you know, she's the modern day Mona Lisa. Who's the Mona Lisa today? It's Kim Kardashian. Women want to be her, men want to fuck her. She made big asses cool, and I love that. Abso-fucking-lutely, Eli Diamandis. Abso-fucking-lutely. Big, fat fucking asses. Guess who has a big fat ass? Fat people. Guess what? Fat people fucking exist. Kim goes to the gym all the time, I think. So does Chloe. And they're big bone bitches. They're not waifs, you know? The genetics comes into play.